everybody, welcome to another episode. I am Michael Petro, and joining Jimmy Skinner and myself on the show this week is Sierra Fredberg and Olivia Rain from the CC and Ollie Show, a sketch comedy duo from Winnipeg who are absolutely killing it on Instagram and TikTok right now with their videos. They write great sketch. They write great quips. They're super funny girls. We were so happy to have them on the show. They made us funnier for an hour and a half. You'll notice. And yeah, it was a pleasure to have them on. What did we have them on for? Well, while we were talking, we were like, what should we talk about? Should we debate? Should we converse? What do you want to do? And we found out in the ether that we all love Mean Girls very, 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 very much. So instead of, we thought, should we recast the movie? See if we could do one of those recastings, right? Like, it's 17 years old when you think about it. And they were like, no, let's just recast the plastics. So what we did was, instead of taking other actors and other, personalities, we just decided to take movie characters and TV show characters and recast Regina, Gretchen, Karen, and Cady from the plastics and see how it works. Example being, I picked Belle from Beauty and the Beast to be my Cady, to be my Lindsay Lohan, and so on and so forth. I don't want to tell you more because then there's no point in listening. That's the whole point of this. So that's what we're arguing for you this week, ladies and gentlemen. There is some changes to what we're doing here. So for all you fans who've been with us since day one, stick around for just a second. TheRealDebaters.ca is a lot skinnier. It's 50% lighter. It's lost some weight. It shed the COVID-20. And all it is a place for you to listen to the show and subscribe, which I think is a lot better than putting up all the other shit that kind of got in the way of it. So we're going to leave it that way for now, and hopefully no one lets me play with the website and add way too much shit and get in your way. So if you want to support the show, the easiest way to do so is to go to that website and just subscribe. It's easy. It's there. There's a huge tab. That's the free and easy way to support us. If you want to buy our shit or donate to us, there's two tabs in the show notes. One is for the prop shop, which is our threadless.com site. Great t-shirts, great swag, great pricing. Everything you buy goes back in the show. We're not making any money off of this. We're just trying to make it better, right? Just to support and make overhead go away. Second to that, if you've got if you're cleaning out your couch cushions and you find a couple bucks and you're like, wow, what should I do with this? Throw it at us. We'll take $1 or $2 from you, because if enough people donate, that pays for like a monthly service and then makes the show better and easier to do for you guys. Because we have real lives. As much as we would love to play in fake life all day long, we all have real jobs and real lives. So it's just, like I said, to cover costs, to make this a little easier, to make it a little sweeter. And then we get to blame you guys for helping us make the show better. In turn, everybody wins, right? So, yeah, there's that. If you want to follow us online, if you're new, therealdebaters@gmail.com is actually our email address. That's not how you follow us online. If you want to follow us on social media, @RealDebaters on Twitter and Instagram, and just search The Real Debaters on Facebook, you'll find us. Stay tuned there. Martin and Jimmy are getting back on stage for comedy. So to everybody in Vancouver and everybody in Winnipeg, you're going to be seeing these two guys back in your lives, making you laugh, just like Sierra and Ollie did for me and Jimmy today. Let's go to the top 10. This week I'm sitting in front of my computer, so let's bring this shit up. So it's really cool. As much as the growing pains occurred during the move from Podient to Castos, I love that I can see the top 10 places that are listening to the show. So we love everybody that listens, first of all. It doesn't matter who you are. We don't care. We're nondescript. Love it all. But these 10 places in the world are doing some heavy lifting for us. So number 10, Worcester, Massachusetts. Number 9, San Francisco, California. Number 8, yeah, that's a number, Surrey, BC. 7, Melita, Manitoba. Baconia, Manitoba. Niverville, Manitoba. Loving that we're in the cabin country. Baconia, shout out to you. Rio Rancho, New Mexico. I only knew about you guys because of Breaking Bad. So thank you for knowing about us. Concord, North Carolina. Love you in the South. Smithers, British Columbia. And to our number one, our fan base, our hometown, Winnipeg, Manitoba. Again, whoever listens to the show, from all of us, Mark, Jimmy, Ian, Rob, Martin, Charles, myself again, times 2. We all love it when you listen. It makes us really happy because we're just a bunch of, nerds doing this, not thinking it really matters beyond our own entertainment. So when we see you guys, it hits us in the feelings. But these 10 places, like I said, they're doing heavy lifting, so we appreciate it. I got nothing else for you. Oh, the YouTube channel, Real Debaters. It's paused for a minute just because summertime has occurred. We've all been in a lockdown. We want to get out and live shit. So that's just been paused for a second while we all stretch our legs and have our short summer in our hometown of Winnipeg, Manitoba. They'll probably come back in the fall. So, but subscribe. Maybe somebody will pop on there. Maybe our friend from Cook Like Chris with Chris Cook. Good old Chris Cook will make us one because he's just itching to share his shit with us. Fucking idiot. Anyways, that's it, guys. That's all. I'll cue the reel. You enjoy the show.
Let's tidy up this tangle of film by putting it on a reel. Here is a motion picture film, 1,000 feet, 16,000 separate photographs.
Welcome, everyone, to the official space section of the charcter.
The truth! You can't handle the truth! Sir, you're out of order. Out of order? I show you out of order!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Real Debaters production. In studio today, you've got two debaters. You've got me, you've got Jimmy Skinner. Say hello, Jimmy.
Hello. Howdy. The sun's out, and it's too hot.
It's too. What's your thermostat say? My thermostat says like 39 in the sun.
We don't have central air, Michael.
Oh, I'm sorry. My wallet's showing. My bad. Well, anytime you feel like getting cooling off this week coming up, we've got the hot tub down to 90. So I'll stay inside. You're more than welcome to come over and jump in and cool off. We'll talk through the window.
That's interesting. I was actually just planning on being the weird single guy at all the splash pads.
Well, you don't have a sprinkler, you don't have a pool, and you don't have AC. So with that said, you actually could go to a splash pad. Those were the three governing rules for allowable usage of splash pads.
I am too big to bathe in the sink.
Good to know, sir. I'm up until this point. I was on the fence on that one. But besides us, we have two special guests who you seem to wrangle up for us this week, Jimmy. We have the CC and Ollie show. We have Sierra and Ollie on air right now. Say hello, girls.
Hello, everybody.
In unison too. I love it. So
Damn it.
You want to take it again? You guys.
Should we do it again? Okay.
Right. Okay, let's do it again. Hang on here.
Going low or high? I don't know. Go low. Okay, I'll try.
All right, let's see if we can do this. Jimmy, we have special guests here today. You wrangled them up for us, buddy. You're the whole reason they're here. We have Sierra and Ollie from the CC and Ollie show. Sing for us, girls.
Hello.
Oh, wow, you actually nailed it.
Wow. Okay, so now when we go to the Starbucks at Springs Church, we need to also audition for the choir.
I don't want to. I'm just out loud.
You're on your own. I don't know. It seems like I want to.
For context, everybody, Sierra was driving by Springs Church this week, and they have Starbucks now. So if you're feeling religious and need a kick in your step, that's why I didn't do the marketing.
Yeah. We don't recommend
feeling religious.
Yeah, you either are or you're not. Definitely, good point, Jimmy. But we've invited the girls on to have a rebel rouse of a debate about the recasting of the plastics from Mean Girls. That was when I sent them an email. I said, "What are your tastes?" And we kind of met in the middle. And then we were originally going to do one way, which I don't want to ruin because Jimmy, your pick is involved in the original way we were going to do this.
Right.
Sneaky.
So you kind of you two birds, one plastic, so to speak. And dab, star wipe, dab. That's what Jimmy likes. Jimmy wants the old star wipe from iMovie whenever he comes on the screen. And then he wants it. We're trying to figure out a dab noise for him. Oh, wow. That's a sweaty armpit. Look at that. See, that's not air conditioning. That's proof in the pudding that I don't have air conditioning.
I have a hot tub.
Yeah, I do have a hot tub. I have a pool that I will be turning myself into a human soup in later. But to start the show, like we know how to do, I think we know how to do it. We'll start with you, Jimmy. What'd you watch this week, buddy?
Well, I watched a few things. So Netflix got a few new movies. Not new. They're from like 2004. They're new for Netflix. It's like buying a used car that you've owned for 30 years. So it's like rebuying the car you sold. Now, I watched a movie that I thought I really liked, and I swear I've seen it like 4 times, and I just don't remember anything from it every time I watched it. I watched Van Helsing with Hugh Jackman.
Okay. Yeah. No.
Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah. Hugh Jackman, Kate Beckinsale, right?
Yeah, she's actually dating a friend of mine from Selkirk that moved to LA and is doing well musically and tours with Blink 182 and so forth. Goody Grace from Selkirk.
Shout out to
Dating Kate Beckinsale.
Oh, right. Wow. You also know this person?
I do know this because I'm up on my Winnipeg cool facts. I'm like,
Well done.
Well, how
Winnipeg
is-
celebrities, it's all we have.
How is Van Helsing?
You know, I feel like they got like a huge budget for it and it just didn't do well enough to warrant any kind of sequel. And I looked up I did a little bit of research, a little clackety clacking, and I found that they were going to do like an expanded monster universe kind of thing. And it just didn't happen. And that sounds like something I would have really liked. Like if they were in a Dracula universe and a werewolf universe and all these fun things that I could really get into. I love monsters and I like watching them kill teens, I guess. What's really wrong with me? But this movie wasn't that. It's like fun. It's a background movie, I'd say. Like it's not something that you put on to watch with family. Like I would.
Like, this isn't an after dinner movie on Thanksgiving weekend.
No, I wouldn't be like, Mom, you want to watch Van Helsing with me? It's 2.5 hours long. I mean, she has the time, so it could be done.
It's just not something it's not something that Mom will remember Jimmy for.
Yeah, she's gonna be like, well, she'll remember that I made her watch this terrible movie.
So correct me if I'm wrong and tell me and the girls this. It did kind of play with a bunch of different famous monsters.
Oh yeah, they had a werewolf. They had Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It was fun, and you get to watch them die, and I guess that's fun. But I don't know. It feels like it was like Hugh Jackman's a fine casting for that role. I think he looks like a Van Helsing type. And my favorite part of the whole movie is just like I don't know when it's set, but all the costumes are really fun. It's like it feels like Victorian era times, and everybody dressed for the occasion, and that's like the only fun part of the movie for me. It's just watching all the people in their fun little costumes getting ripped apart by vampires.
It seems like somebody pulled one of those douchey moves that people have pulled over the last year, where like they were a big corporation and they asked for some bailout money. And then they didn't use that bailout money accordingly. Like they got a lot of money to make Van Helsing, but then they didn't use the movie in the CGI department properly. Because that's what I remember of it.
For 2004, I think it looks okay. I think if they did a remake of it now, I feel like it could do well. But there's the Netflix show Van Helsing that I think is doing well. I think they have like 3 seasons now. So I don't know if a movie is even in the works.
But good for Netflix is not definite. That's not good general. Sometimes we know this. We've had Netflix. Netflix has been our longest streaming partner for not on the show, just in life. I mean, fuck, want some of that Netflix money. Girls, have you seen Van Helsing at all? Does this ring a bell to you?
Yes.
for me, no, this sounds wild. I feel like I need to watch it now.
Yeah. My brother's like really into that stuff. So I remember him watching it and I thought it was like a musical because it was Hugh Jackman. I was like, yes, I'm down. And it's not. So I was kind of like, I dipped out of it. But I knew they were going to make an amusement park ride of it. And then they didn't because the movie failed so bad.
Oh.
Now, see, that's something I can get behind.
Yeah.
A fun ride based on horrible monsters. I can enjoy that.
Yeah, but it didn't. They did not do it.
Being,
I forget what they turned it into instead.
I guess your movie has to do like really poorly if they were gonna build a ride and then they
Like
don't.
they thought it was gonna be so big and then it wasn't. Yeah.
hang on, let me pull this out here and see how much bucks did Van Helsing make, because as much as that's not the best way to, you know, judge a movie, at the same time it is how movies are judged. So Van Helsing, all right. So what?
Don't judge away. And honestly, I wish it was a musical. I feel like it would have been a lot more fun. It would have had like Sweeney Todd vibes, and that's something I can get behind.
Yeah. No, and to your point, Ollie, I just love how you walked in. You're like, this isn't The Fabulous Showman. I'm done. Where's the circus? Where's the interesting people? Where's the freak show? Where's all the romance and fun? No, just Frankenstein being killed over and over and over.
Yeah, it was too scary for me.
Okay, so budget 160 million. Opening weekend 51 million, total gross 120. Didn't
That's not gonna cut it.
worldwide 300, so it just made 140 million,
Not for a ride.
which is not enough money to even pay out the people who may die on your ride if that ride breaks. So like that's why they didn't make the ride.
Yes.
What if the ride did get made though? It's just in some parking lot.
And just one dude does it every day.
Ride to Van Helsing.
Time to
Oh
go.
my God.
And people go in and just they never come out.
And that's like an
I
episode.
don't care how tall you are. Come ride the Van Helsing.
Okay, all right. So Ollie's seen it. She dipped. Sierra, is this enough to make you want to watch it? You think? Like, are you gonna blaze out of here and be like Van Helsing?
Absolutely. Yes. I'm gonna blaze out and go watch it. First thing I'm doing tonight. Mhm.
Well, see, I really just wanted this movie to be like Abe Lincoln Vampire Hunter, and it wasn't that. It wasn't what I wanted.
And you keep this has been a reoccurring thing for you because somehow we always end up with some big sideburns and zombie killing coming out of you. And I'm considering watching it tonight after I've done my outside stuff. What am I doing?
Oh, if you're gonna watch anything, Abe Lincoln Vampire Hunter is definitely worth it.
Better than Hunt for Red October. Better than Lion Wardrobe.
So the movie starts as like an Abraham Lincoln biopic, right? And then he just starts killing vampires for some reason. And it's no, unfortunately, it is not a musical. It could be a Broadway play. It could honestly be a Broadway play.
We did that debate where we turned something into a musical, and it did not go well, so we never aired it because yeah, there's just something about it. You know what it was? It was musicals and westerns. That's what we tried to do. And there's just something about them Western times that there's like chock full of racism that no matter how much fun you try to have with it, it doesn't come out well.
Oh,
So I just put that in the trash. Literally, I put it in my trash on my MacBook, and that's where that went. So, but you keep talking about musicals. Are you a big musical fan, Ollie?
yes, I am.
Sierra?
I'm a fan because Olivia's a fan.
Okay, by
I'm like an
proxy.
average fan, but then I get like the cool inside scoop from Olivia and all of the gossip in the musical theater world. Yeah.
I like.
Not calling me a nerd. I appreciate that.
Yeah. I was close.
I know.
Okay, so what's your favorite older musical, and what's your favorite newer musical? And I'm only asking Ollie because clearly she's answering for Sierra.
Like that we've seen.
That you've seen, yeah, like what, like Miss Saigon, Phantom of the Opera,
The new Muppets movie.
that's what I'm saying, yeah.
Muppets. I would say old. We both enjoy Les Mis. We like to be dramatic and sing along to that.
Oh my
And the
god.
Russell Crowe parts.
Careful, Russell Crowe. I know him.
Russell Crowe's a very special person for Olivia.
Oh, we've touched a nerve, Jimmy.
He did a movie a long time ago with my uncle. So that's
Oh,
So she only sings the Russell
I
Crowe
only
part.
sing Russell Crowe part. No. And then new, I would say we listened to Mean Girls the musical today to prepare for this.
Oh yes.
so yeah, that is a musical. How was that?
So it was so good.
Yeah, like does it? I imagine it transfers well because it's just cheesy comedy,
And
and
they like upgraded it too. So it wasn't like a high school in 2000s. It was like current. So like all the clips were more current. The jokes were way more current. But it still had that like Tina Fey wittiness to it that I really liked it.
yeah, when I heard about that, you always kind of worry because when you go to musicals, you turn up the ta-da, right? You everything's 11.
That's
Yeah.
Is
exactly
that what that was?
That was my attempt at it, sir. I didn't say I was going to deliver. I just brought it.
That was a great ta-da. I haven't seen a ta-da done in a while.
There's no reason to. There's nothing to ta-da over right now.
Yeah, right.
Ta-da,
Close
COVID.
up
Like,
magic business.
yeah.
The close up magic business got screwed in all of this. Okay? David Blaine, he's probably broke.
No kidding. Street magic, nobody's on the street. Like how did that guy make a career after this?
Oh, no, I never thought about those guys.
So Jimmy,
It's like YouTube stars who just do magic on the street. They are homeless now.
Aw.
to chop off Van Helsing's head, so to speak, you'd seen it before, or was it your first go around?
Oh, I've tried to watch it about 4 or 5 times and I just can't finish it.
Wow, you've had a relationship with this movie.
I like fall asleep, and it's supposed to be something that I like, and it just never lives up to what I want. Every time I watch it, it's pretty much the same.
So, how would you recommend to watch this movie in the only way we know how?
I guess if you had a TV in your bathroom.
So when you're pooping, it's a good time to watch it?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that says a lot about, because I mean, when I go poop, I'm only reading dumb shit. I'm not reading anything that's going to keep me there, because I can forget where I am sometimes. And then I'm like, Mom, my legs are asleep. As interesting as this is, I should probably move. So I only read like things that take the length of a poop to read or shorter. So this says a lot that you'd have to sacrifice good blood flow to watch Van Helsing.
You're a Reader's Digest kind of guy.
yeah, I like the funny pages. I like Family Circus on the toilet. Far Side on the toilet. That's my toilet for sure. What would you give it out of 5?
Oh.
3 angry flying bad CGI warlocks out of 5.
I'd give it 1 dismembered corpse meant to make Frankenstein out of 5.
Oh wow, so a reject corpse.
Yeah.
Fair enough. You heard it here. Don't bother watching the movie you've paid for 7 times already, probably.
I didn't pay for it, Michael.
No, I know. Just your analogy of like it's the used car you've never been able to sell.
Right.
You keep buying. All right, so I'll go last because I'm more interested to hear somebody else talk this week. So let's start with Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Sierra. What'd you watch this week?
Oh my god. Okay, well, I watched a movie with Olivia, but we can talk about that together at the end if we're just talking about what I watched.
Yes.
alone.
Yeah. Yes.
I started watching this show, called The Startup.
Yep. It's on Netflix, right?
It's on Netflix. I think it was originally a Crackle. A Crackle is like a streaming service now. So because it says Crackle at the beginning. Anyways, so regardless of where it came from, this show takes place in Miami, Florida. And I started watching it and I was like, why do all dramas that take place in Florida, like, why are they so scary? And I never want to go to Miami. Now that I've seen it, I'm never going.
Yeah, she came in to tell me to never watch the show because I would be too scared.
And I keep watching it. It's so real. It's like they have the cameras right beside the person's face and they just say like, go. Like it doesn't even seem like it's scripted. It's just scary. And it's not a horror. It's meant to be like a cool drama about cryptocurrency.
So it's got some names in it though. I mean, I can kind of see why you went after it. It's got Ron Perlman, so it's Sons of Anarchy, and Hellboy.
The Hellboy?
The Hellboy, not Hellboy, but the Hellboy. Mira Sorvino, Paul Sorvino's daughter. She's been around in Hollywood forever. Martin Freeman from
Right.
Hobbit, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and Adam Brody, if not from the OC, which.
Yes.
On the list.
I fucking loved the OC. Like, I mean, as cheesy as it was, I watched every. That was the Seth Cohen hour. That wasn't the OC. That was Christmas. Like how he combined Hanukkah and Christmas together because his parents were, one was Jewish and one wasn't. Like, there's so many cute things about Adam Brody in that show that I loved. So I kind of want to watch this now.
You should. I'm actually as scared as I am when I watch it. I am actually like enjoying it too, which I think scares me more because I'm like, why do I like a show that is scaring me? Maybe I'm just at that point in this lockdown where I need to be entertained on like more than just one level. Like I need to be frightened while viewing something to enjoy.
Well, because
I got a question.
go ahead.
So for you guys, Forbidden Forest, Miami, Florida. Same.
What is scarier?
Equally okay. Actually,
I like
One has centaurs, one has pit bull.
oh my gosh, I forgot. Yeah, I would probably still go to Miami because at least I could have
like a cute
like
outfit.
a cute outfit. I could go on the beach and then get murdered. Like in the forest, you don't get a margarita while you're being chased.
That's very plausible.
Just
Yeah.
poison ivy.
Wait, what?
Poison ivy.
Just poison ivy. That's it.
Yeah, so definitely I guess I will be going to Miami instead of the Forbidden Forest.
There is something to be said. I was in Florida, but the same month that COVID got launched in China. So I was in Orlando because we went to Disneyland. It was a birthday present, and I went to Harry Potter World. I went to Star Wars Land. That thing behind me right there, that thing hanging on the wall, that's my like lightsaber from the Galaxy's Edge experience that you pay to like work with somebody in a like it was. I was nerding out hardcore, but I have the same feelings towards Florida as you do, Sierra, because like you've seen the articles, Florida man eats face of someone on highway. Florida has its own microcosm. It's like it's a state on steroids. It's like fueled by no taxes and crack. Like it really has Florida fuckaroo. I've heard as a saying before. Don't fuck around in Florida. Like they're just a different kind of breed down there. So the fact that they've wrapped that into the show, like I heard gunshots down the street from my little, like we stayed in a like a tiny house, like a tiny trailer. And
Oh my gosh.
there was a trailer park of tiny houses, and it was super sweet. But like at night we'd be sitting on the patio, and then like clip clip clip, like you'd hear empty gunshots like throughout Orlando. It's like the old Wild West. They just don't give a fuck. So,
It's just Mickey Mouse.
yeah, it's just Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse is the nicest thing in Florida. Everybody else clearly, and like so, I think that's part of what they're wrapping into the show that you're mentioning is like it's just fucking crazy out here. It's not Wisconsin.
It's not Disneyland. Disney World, they carry guns.
Yeah.
Goofy's got a Glock.
All
right. So, and it seems like I've read about it here. It's like money laundering and shady business and Glock 9s. Like, is that kind of?
Yeah, it's all like crooked FBI guy meets crooked business guy meets like really humble gang guy, and then also meets this like nerdy sweet cryptocurrency girl.
Oh no.
And yeah, it's just there's a lot of dark stuff. But last night in the episode I was watching, this girl takes a baseball bat and just destroys all these computers.
I don't know where you're going with
And
that.
I did enjoy that.
Okay.
I thought that was cool.
How many Bitcoins out of 5 would you give it?
Oh, okay. I would give it 4 Bitcoins out of 5.
Ooh, okay. There is something to be said. Like this sounds like a Sons of Anarchy. This sounds like one of those like rough and rugged shows that the characters are a little rough around the edges and they're wrong in a lot of ways, but you fall for them because of that, right? We don't have a lot of protagonists. We have a lot of antagonists causing a lot of shit. Okay. Well, you sold me on it, Jimmy. Are you from her, Jimmy and Ollie? Like, what do you guys think? Are you gonna catch up with her, Ollie?
No.
No, because every time I watch it, I come to Olivia's and I explain like what's just happened in my life, which is just this TV show.
And then she tells me, but don't watch it.
And then I warn her not to watch it. I don't think she's going. If you do,
I
do, let me know.
No, but
I'll come over.
okay. Well, I don't want to.
All right, Ollie. What about you? Tell us what you watched, independent from your better half.
I went I went.
Did you hear that, kid?
Better half. Okay, I went. I've been trying because with all the lockdown and stuff, I decided to watch a documentary. So I watched a documentary on black holes.
Oh, that new one on Netflix.
Yes.
I started watching that. My God, is it interesting?
It's so, and I like wasn't ever really into space or science in high school, but now I am fully obsessed, and I'm like, screw comedy, I'm going to space. You know? It's really interesting because these scientists in this, because you think watching a documentary about people talking about black holes, like they're all smart and like you can't really understand what they're saying. My favorite thing is that when they all work together, some of them are like, oh, I don't know what that means. Can you explain that to me? And that was so, blew my mind because it was just so human to see. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like made your space dream achievable.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. Get me in there, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I believe in you.
thanks.
Hey, like they're starting civilian missions again to Mars. And if you exhaust comedy to the point where you're like, we're done. I mean, Sierra, it looks like you're going to Mars.
Oh my
Yeah, you're
God.
going.
Well, I think that'd be great for our YouTube page.
We can be the first YouTube page on Mars.
Yeah, that's why. I'm good to go.
Somebody needs it. While they're terraforming the planet, they got to laugh at something.
Yes. Yeah, it's true.
No, she's totally right about that. Like I didn't get to that part where the not so smart people are in charge of science, but I that's fine though. I mean, if I think what you're getting at, and I bet the director was like, okay, that's a real moment, just like you said. So
Yeah.
keep it in because it's normally a bunch of talking heads who say things and use words, and I'm like, pause, thesaurus. Oh, okay. Like, and I do that a lot, right? I use big words, but I bullshit on what I know about what they mean.
Avant-garde.
Avant-garde, there it is. 100 episodes in, and that still has yet to even fade into the darkness. Oh yeah, just for backstory, girls, I used it in a very wrong way, and everything's avant-garde now, no matter what I do. So, but yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Like it's a more approachable conversation about something that you would never approach if you had to on your own.
Yeah, and it was crazy too that they're like, if we prove this theory right about these black holes, everything we know about physics is wrong. And so that was kind of crazy. They're like, the way that we know that Earth came to be, we could be completely wrong. And I kind of like the danger of that, to be like, I don't know. I think it's exciting to be like, we're all idiots together.
Well, it from what I know, and I mean, I've watched some serious documentaries like Interstellar, Back to the Future.
Oh God, I was like, Interstellar?
Who's
is a
gonna tell them?
documentary?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
You get my point, though, right? Like everything I know from movies. And with that said, on the other side of a black hole is a whole other dimension, and it's the wormhole theory from Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and how time changes once it's in there. Like Interstellar does have it correct, only because I fact checked the fuck out of it. But when they land on that planet, and gravity changes the amount of time for them only, so they age every 7 years, every hour. That kind of stuff is in, like, that's what they're breaking and getting into in this. So for Jimmy and Sierra, it is a really, like, if you're interested in time travel and everything that the eventual crushing of the Earth through a black hole, like Ollie says.
Boy, am I.
It's kind of like, COVID's not so bad. We could be flying into a black hole.
That's the positive spin on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
But-
sun may explode.
Yeah.
Where are you? Is it because is it a series or is it a movie? I can't remember.
No, it's just a movie.
Just a movie. Okay, all right. So I started it mostly because I was like, I need to go to bed to put on black hole stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I put on World War II in color if I want to fall asleep, because as heartbreaking as it is, it's
You fall asleep to World War II?
yeah. Well, not the Auschwitz stuff, but like the D-Day stuff. I can. The
World War One just wasn't sad enough.
it really wasn't. Like if they had pulled at my heartstrings more, I may have no. Jimmy,
No,
don't.
I know. I watched the documentary in like 2 days. I had to take a break halfway.
Why? Is it because it was too much, or just because you were like, I want to go laugh at something?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a beautiful documentary. Like the music that they use in it, I was like very much into it. But it was more of like, I need to get outside. Like, I need to go for a walk. And if I get sucked in literally to this black hole documentary, I might not.
You might be walking in a different dimension.
Yeah, I might be gone from you.
I'm already in another dimension.
Yeah, I know you are.
Okay, so how many DeLoreans out of 5 would you give it?
I'm gonna say 4.
Ooh. So that's The Startup. And what's the name of the movie again? I forgot it. Everything You Need to Know About Black Holes? Is that?
Yeah, black holes, the edge of all we know.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
long marquee.
Yeah, no kidding. Guys, like, do I get overtime for putting these letters up? Well, I will close off our opening round here.
What did you watch this week, Michael?
Oh, Jimmy, thank you. So I finished Mare of Easttown, which is on HBO, which is Kate Winslet being the best fucking version of Kate Winslet you could ever imagine. Girls, Jimmy, do you guys know anything about it?
I heard about this.
They did an SNL parody of it. That's all I know.
What?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, they did actually.
Accent one.
Yeah.
What?
Remember?
No.
Kate McKinnon played the cop with the accent. That's the gist.
That's exactly what it is that Worcester accent. Wooter is how they say it. Instead of water, it's Wooter.
Oh, right. Oh my gosh.
That caught you on.
So,
My bad impression? Oh, wow, okay.
very good.
So I finished that with Shauna, and she wasn't really wanting to get into it, but I'd heard when 3 people tell me to watch a thing, and these 3 people would never watch a thing together. That's kind of how I run that's my AI. Like if my mom and someone at work and then one of my buddies says something, I'm like, okay, this is bridging different demographics, so let's give a fuck. And if you like a murder mystery, if you like having to rifle through at least 15 characters before you find out who done it, and you like hearing water called Wooter, seems like you do. Try it out. It's a mini series, so it's one and done. It's about a cop in a Pennsylvania town. I've been chewing through this over the last couple episodes. So I finally finished it, and it was so much fun to finish because after it was done, everybody in HBO Max in the States couldn't get on to watch it, and I was like, because they were in the middle of it, and then it kicked out for some reason. The streaming service fucked up, so I'm like, oh, you guys are all screwed and it's one of those like, oh, I know who did it. Oh, it's that guy. Like me and Shauna were sitting here each episode, right? We started, and then I was like, oh, it's 12 it's 12 at night, and we've just chewed through 3 episodes. It's that kind of thing. So. If you
How long did it
hour 7.
Okay, I'm watching this and I'm gonna learn the accent.
Do it, and then do please do it. Not enough people are running a sketch on that shit because it's got so much material for making. Like if you did something like you girls did with the Jets thing with the accent, people would pick up on it. Like if you did Mare of Easttown watching a hockey game and you called a hockey game while doing the accent, people would dig it up because she's the whole show. She fought the director just for certain things. There's a love, like it's her. Guy Pearce is in it as a love interest.
Oh.
So the bitch in County Monte Cristo, if you need reference, or like every English movie when they need like a hunk. Guy Pearce in Memento. He's in it. The guy who was in The Office who played the warehouse supervisor. Roy's in it.
Like
Roy
Pam's fiance.
Pam's fiance before. Yes, he's in it.
He was the dad in Brightburn.
Yes, exactly. So he plays Kate Winslet's ex-husband, and she's got like 7 different things going on in her personal life while trying to solve the murder of a disappearance and a murder of a girl from a year ago, while a new murder pops up. And anybody who has anything to do with it is in her circle. So she's investigating her family, her friends. Everybody knows her. Evan Peters is in it from American Horror Story. He plays the like big city cop who comes to small town Pennsylvania to try to help out, and he's got a really cool back. Like it's like everybody who had a day off and they all wanted to do something. So watch Mare. Mare's the best. She fought for her, like she put on I think 30 or 40 pounds for the role, and she fought to keep her bulge in a love scene because she wanted everybody to be like, no, this is the character. She's bulgy. She's got a pouch. She's not fit. This is who it is. So it's Kate Winslet wanting like method acting, and you're just like, you let go of Jack, and I can't see any of it. Like the difference between Paint Me Like One of Your French Girls and this is like the woman is easily one of my top 5 favorite actors of all time. So give that a whirl. But the big thing that I watched is Nobody, that was filmed in Winnipeg.
Oh, you got to go to it, eh?
So super fun. Very I will say this. This is a podcast faux pas, but fuck it. Yesterday, me and Mark got to talk to the co-owner of Expressions Acting Studio and one of their instructors, and Paisley Catarath from the movie, who played Abby, Bob's daughter. And she was on the podcast yesterday. So we got to talk to her about working with Lloyd and Riza and Bob and everything. And she was super fun to talk. She's 9-year-old. And she was like the best guest we possibly could have had. We watched it because we wanted to see her in it. And she's fucking fantastic in it. I've been wanting to swear since yesterday because we talked to a 9-year-old. So I was like, don't watch your fucking F-bombs, you fucker. So, but Nobody... And I'm just going to say it because it's the best quote you could possibly find for it. It's very John Wicky, Paisley Catarath.
Aww.
That's what she said. Because we were like, have you seen the whole movie? And she's like, yes, I have. And we're like, wow, you were allowed to watch that whole movie. That's insane. And like her mom and dad were in the background. You could tell that they were like, she would, it was the best interview we've had so far, easily. So, and nobody before us will ever argue that a 9-year-old is not as good as them. So
Yeah.
screw you all, BJ and Brad and all you fuckers. But Nobody is a good time. Nobody is very John Wicky, like she said. The car chase scenes are awesome. The humor in it is really good. It is exactly John Wick, but everything in John Wick has been changed from bounty hunter to hitman. That's all I'll say. But there's family connections. The RZA's like barely in it till the very end, and then when he reveals himself, it's amazing. Christopher Lloyd is a ghost. You think he's one thing, he ends up being another. Bob Odenkirk, super believable as an ass kicker. Like when he fights, you're like, that's what Saul would look like if he was fighting. Okay, I'm fine with that. Soundtrack is off the charts. Super fun to listen to. Like classic rock, classic oldies, stuff you'd listen to in your grandpa's car. Very, like, just very cheesy and fun. I would give it 5 Winnipeg Transit buses out of 5 that were in the movie that they fought on. That whole breakdown scene is exactly like what happens in John Wick, where he just has enough.
Oh, no.
Breaking point.
Oh, dear God.
And
He's gone. He's in the black hole.
yeah, he's gone.
Michael got excited. Oh, he's back.
Oh, I froze. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. Is that okay? Am I good? Have I frozen? Can you hear me?
It's my favorite part of the show.
Can you hear me?
No.
Uh-oh.
I don't think he knows it's happening.
I don't think he
No, I don't.
Michael, do we have you back? We lost you to the black hole. You slipped away.
Is he alive?
I don't know. What dimension are we in?
Oh, God. Some sort of ruthless Michael.
Okay, hang on here.
Oh, we got a message.
Ah. You can see us. Can you hear us, Michael?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, you're all good.
Yeah, I'm good.
back?
Yeah, you're back.
All right. Are you? Is everything fine? Am I moving?
Yeah. Last thing I heard was the 5 transit buses.
Okay, perfect. Well, we can start there. I would give it 5 transit buses out of 5 because they clearly had to use 5 buses to take 5 different fight scenes in the movie. So when he loses his shit and the first fight begins, it's an absolute rush of a movie into the very end. For what it is, it's a good time. It's not Oscar worthy. It's not award worthy. It's none of that stuff. But it's a fun movie during a time when we needed a new fun movie. So if you've been waiting to watch it and you want to see a girl, like Paisley's parts in the movie are so, like, Mark noticed it, and I was so glad that he did, because he was like, the one thing that you get from Bob Odenkirk's character the entire time is that he's got this past and he doesn't want it to affect his future. But as he slowly has it happen and becomes more violent, the only thing that keeps him in the past is Abby, Paisley's character, his daughter. So whenever she's on screen, he becomes very soft and very gentle and very cuddly. And when she's not on screen, he's killing everybody. So and that's probably because they also didn't want to ruin a 9-year-old's mentality of what movies are. So they wrote it where it was like, the 9-year-old will never be in a gunshot sequence. That will never happen. She'll be in the basement, safe and sound. So those are my 2. Go with something film local by amazing fucking film professionals. And with Mare, if you want to have a really good story and a really good whodunit laid in your lap. Have you guys? None of you guys have seen Nobody either?
I did watch it.
I haven't.
I actually worked on the movie.
Nice.
Scenes on the advertisement side of the movie. So I worked for a week prepping all of the advertisement for the film.
Okay.
And I got to take Bob Odenkirk's garbage out of his hand. I got to stand beside him with a garbage bin.
And
What kind of garbage does he produce? Tell me.
yeah.
I can't get into the deets, but it was very thrilling. It was a very thrilling 2-minute interaction.
I can imagine. I mean, one of the guys at work got a Christopher Lloyd autograph because he ran into him on set, and he's a huge fan of the guy. And I was just like, I just liked being in the same room as that marker on that paper. Like that was 21.2 gigawatts for me. I don't know about what it was for him, but it's a bad Back to the Future joke. So that's what all you people out there who are listening, that's what you should watch this week. You should watch the movie Jimmy hated. You should definitely watch the Black Hole movie that Ollie watched. Start Up, I'm going to watch it if none of you do. And if you're from Winnipeg, give Nobody a shot. And I think everybody now is going to try out Mare after my illustrious introduction.
Not only going to try it out as just watching it, I'm going to try to become it.
Please, Becoming Mare. That's what it should be called.
Yeah.
Just and send me and Jimmy voice recordings, and I'll send them to Shauna, and I'll be like, are they nailing it? Is it almost there? And you'll get some notes from us, and yeah.
Don't want to open that.
How would you do that?
No.
Now we know what we're doing this week for CCNL.
All right, well, let's get into what we came here to do today. Let's start to tussle. So, the debate in question is simply what I mentioned at the top of the show. We asked Ollie and Sierra what they liked, what movies they liked together, what movies I know, faux pas. Sorry. I told you, Jimmy. That's why they should just run the show. I'll just sit back here and wait for my turn to speak. But so we kind of came to the conclusion we'd started with one idea and we landed on another. And these recastings are fun only in the sense that anybody could be, like, you can find a litany of other characters to do these jobs. And it's fun to see if it's a reimagining. It's fun to see if it's a completely different take on it, because it's how one of the 4 of us would like to see it. And I'm sure you guys have thought it out there too. So without further ado, welcome to the first recastings of the Plastics from Mean Girls. Now, if you don't know who the Plastics are, I'm going to let Cece and Ollie take it away here. Who are the Plastics, girls?
They are a super cool clique in the movie Mean Girls. They're like the popular girls.
They're teenage royalty.
And we got, do you want to say like their names?
Yeah.
Okay. You go first.
Okay, well, Karen, she's the dumbest of them all. I'm literally saying it like how they say it in the movie, how Damien explains.
Oh, right. Okay, go.
And that's all I have to say about Karen. I feel bad. She's really sweet, but she's like the follower. She's the dumb blonde bestie,
Played by.
played by Amanda Seyfried. Yeah, and then we have Gretchen. You talk about Gretchen.
Gretchen is like I would say she's like the gossipy one of the Mean Girls,
Yeah.
and her dad owns a toaster strudel company, and that's why she's like really rich, so that's why. And she's like the most insecure one of the group, but I don't know the actress's name who played her.
Oh, she's now all into Hallmark movies.
I think I was in a Hallmark movie with her. and I
Oh
don't-
yeah. No. She was on Party of Five, right?
Yes.
Hang on here. I got it.
Isn't that funny how the rest of them kind of like took off in their own way? And I mean, she's still doing well, like she's still acting and everything. But like Amanda Seyfried is huge. Like,
Rachel McAdams.
yeah, they're all such big actors now. It's just so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do we got here? I don't want to freeze up again. That's why. Lacey Chabert.
Lacey.
Lacey Chabert.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So she was Gretchen.
And then we have Regina, who is the queen bee, and that was played by Rachel McAdams.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
that's it. She's just a bitch.
She's the hot.
Those are they're like I always say that kids are sociopaths, like we all were at some point, and due to the product of good parenting, we're now not poking frogs with sticks, right? Like we're okay.
Speak for yourself.
I'm sorry. I didn't want to call you out for it, but fine. If you want to bring it up, we can talk about it.
Am I going to touch the frog with my hand? Ugh. Ew.
So, yeah, no, those are the three. And then Cady comes along and becomes one in like the second act of the movie, who's played by Lindsay Lohan. May she rest in Hollywood peace. Hopefully she comes back one day.
I think she is.
Yeah, she
I swear I heard a recent project that she's doing, but I can't remember. Maybe I fever dreamed it, but I swear she's back.
That's a COVID dream if I've ever heard of one.
she is too. I think I saw it on Instagram.
It is a romantic comedy that she's coming back to do. It's like it's probably an independent or like a low.
But it exists.
But it exists, so she is making a crack at it, which is respectable because, like, I mean, she didn't leave well, so come back better. Hopefully, she comes back with better mental health because that's my only concern. Make whatever you want, just have some good mental health. It's a dangerous industry.
Yeah.
So we have those girls, and what we thought was, what other movie characters could play them? Doesn't matter, male, female, pet, who cares? What makes
Build your Mean Girls.
Build Your Mean Girls, exactly. This should be an actual game by Milton Bradley. I think we should make a pitch. What do you guys say? We'll all show up at the office and be like, so we got this idea. It came from drinking beers in the afternoon talking about recasting Mean Girls. Get the fuck out.
I mean, if we could like sell it as like
we could like dress up like them. I think we could do it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that like because we're a group of four. That's
Yeah.
a good idea.
Now, I'll leave it in your capable hands. Which one's Jimmy playing and which one am I dressing up as?
Jimmy, I could see Jimmy being a really good Regina. And then
I have been carried to gym class, so
makes
Wow.
sense. And then Michael, I think it could be Cady.
Okay. Innocent, naive, from the African Serengeti, coming to
Smart.
Okay, yeah, smart. Yeah, no,
No math.
Yeah.
I mean, other people have been cast worse, so that's not entirely wrong. And I mean, I can wear a wig. I'm not a natural ginger per se, but I would be okay with.
Dye your beard.
Yeah, you dye your beard.
Name one.
So I have told the guys in the past, and we'll tell you right now, I will go first because I ask all of you to join on mass to debate. That's our masturbation joke. And we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me annoying all of you. So with that said, I will give you my pick. Now, I started with I hope you guys agree with me on this one because I went with a straight recasting. Like I looked at their characteristics and I went into Hollywood as best I could. And I actually dug into TV and I dug into movies. That's like which I mentioned TV characters. Even if there's a YouTube series that's big enough, it's allowed, right? So the movie and TV is just for our audience. So that's just me premising why I should win. My ideas are sincere, but my logic might not be sound. Let me just say that right now. So we'll start with who do we want to start with? We'll start with Karen. So Karen Smith, like you mentioned, played by Amanda Seyfried. I picked Kelly Bundy from Married with Children. That was who I casted for that. Now, why did I do that? Karen is 100% comic relief. That's what she's there for. She's there to kind of kill the awkwardness in some of these situations with a dumb line or two. So Kelly, completely known for that on Married with Children. Blissful ignorance, barely operating level way of life, as Kelly is. So Al and Bud can easily convince Kelly to do anything, which is what Regina and Gretchen kind of do with Karen. They're her doll, right? So watching Al and Bud just set Kelly up continuously, I don't think it's a stretch to put Kelly Bundy in Karen's position, and she would just carry on happily. She would fall for anything. With examples, with lines like, if you're from Africa, why are you white? And my birthday is in February. I'm an aquarium. Can we stop arguing and just call me the winner now? These are lines that Kelly, the aquarium one, and Karen, the African one, say. That's a carbon copy of each line, right? So this isn't a stretch if we were to recast this per se and ask the audience to come back. We're not asking for them to believe too far off the beaten path. It is implied in the show that Kelly was a fairly intelligent young girl and a ferocious reader, but her head injury during a car trip reduced her intelligence. That's a great backstory for Kelly in the movie. Like, if you wanted to know what happened to why she's so dumb, it kind of adds more depth to Karen's character. Because Karen, like we've seen, like she just shows up and says a dumb line and then backs out. We don't have a lot. We have Gretchen, we have Regina, we have Cady's backstory, but again, Karen is just the dumb comic relief. What else do I have here? Karen's first appearance matches up with Kelly's. This was the back end of my debate, was that because Karen got hit with a football when you're introduced to her in the movie, and Kelly having a car accident that caused her brain damage, there is also another connection between the two as to why these ladies are of lower said intelligence for comic relief. I don't believe that they're dumb. I just believe that they're not on the same scale as everybody else. Anyways, moving on.
Brain damage. Okay.
Let's move on to Gretchen Wieners for a second. So I picked Hilary Banks from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I've always felt that Gretchen was the more stylish one out of the group. So trading in Hilary for Gretchen is a no-brainer. Literally, both of them are no-brainers. Same taste and style and know what's going on with current fashion. Both also love gossip whenever they find themselves, and Hilary loves to name drop. So, like, if the Gucci shoe fits, I mean, why not wear it at the same time? Both have self-realizations at some point in their shows and in their movie. Gretchen kind of realizes that there's more to her than just fashion and more to her than just being Regina's side bitch, so to speak. And kind of leaves the group to go on and do bigger and better things. Same thing with Hilary and Uncle Phil. Hilary starts to realize that she's more than just a pretty face in the family, that they do kind of count on her for more. So these self-realization moments, they do tie into each other. Moving on to Queen Bee, Regina George, I picked Helen Harris from Bridesmaids, the catty bitch that draws a fork in the road between Annie and her best friend. So Regina, being human, the viral human that she is, she's worshipped at school, which one might say is success in grade 11. If you can knock off being popular in grade 11, then you're probably going to go on in real life to make a name for yourself. Well, Helen is also the epitome of stunning, immaculate, and a vision of success, right? She's about creating this environment around her where she's the big deal. Same thing with Regina George. They're relying on their popularity and this figment of who they really are to carry them through. They both have ulterior motives. Helen wants to be the bestiest best friend ever, and Regina wants Cady, right? So they both use their influence to kind of woo each other over, in a sense. She wants to screw over Cady because Cady starts dating, what's the dude's name that
Aaron Samuels.
Aaron Samuels, thank you. So Helen's trying to steal Annie. There you go. Look at that. That's point, right, Jimmy? That's a point.
That's one.
So you've got Regina trying to befriend Cady so that she can screw Cady over so she can't get to Aaron. You've got Helen trying to screw over Annie so that she can get to Annie's best friend, right? Easily to see on screen. Regina eventually has to compete for attention, which is what Helen is a pro at. So in stealing the show from Annie, it just makes sense. Just repeating myself. Both make you hate them to the point where you don't know where the character ends and the actor begins, right? Like Regina George, played by Rachel McAdams. I really thought Rachel McAdams was a bitch in real life after watching that movie. I was like, she's not bringing much to the character, but at the same time, when you realize that she's such a sweetheart, you're like, oh, okay. So I see the same things in Helen that I do see in Regina, where it's just this vengeful, mean, viral human that you eventually come to like in the end. They eventually see who they are, and again have another self-realization moment, if you will, where they both realize the error of their ways and maybe need to change their personalities to kind of fit the group. Ladies, gentle sir, that is my debate. That is my time. Since Jimmy's gone to go pee, I don't want to play quizzing right now, so you girls can tell me what you agree with and what you probably disagree with.
I do agree with Hillary Banks and Gretchen. I think they have the same vibe. Do you get what I mean?
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah. How about you?
Ooh.
Now, girl.
Your caddy?
Sorry, what was that?
Oh, wait.
Shit, I didn't say my caddy. You're totally right. I forgot my caddy.
You automatically lose. Just kidding. Just kidding. Good.
Caddy. Okay, my caddy, for reasons as obvious as they are, I picked Belle from Beauty and the Beast, and I decided to pick her not only because of her earnestness and sincerity and like the small town girl that she is, but it's also one of Shauna's favorite Disney characters. So I'm going for sympathy points here from you guys as well too. That said, she's easily the most naive girl one could imagine replacing with Cady. Bella's from the country, Caddy's from Africa. This country girl with this sense of naivete and innocence that Cady has, coming all the way from Africa, not having any idea what it's like to go to public school. I think she went to school in a hut. Was that the joke?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so she did go to school in a grass hut. Speaking of beasts, they both have similar stories, both revolving around wild animals in one and Africa in another. One has a curse put on it. One is the most believable beast around. It kind of plays together in that regard. Cady, while failing at life and conforming to the plastic's ideals, Belle never really strays too far from her innocent roots, but nonetheless is the reason for a momentary betrayal where she shows Gaston, the townsfolk, who Beast really is. Cady does the exact same thing and betrays Regina. So you do have some crossbreeding between both plots. My last point on this was that both have some cool peeps to hang out with, pre and post plastic. Belle brings along Chip, Mrs. Potts, LaFleur, and Cogsworth. Well, at the same time, Cady had Janice and Damien. So you've got some extra characters, some spare parts per se to bring across. I don't know if Chip would be really fun to watch as a hang around of the plastics, but he was there. I felt it wrong not to include them in some way, right? Because I didn't want to be called out for where's Cogsworth, where's LaFleur. So that's me just checking a box. Lastly, both longing for love and understanding what a curse can bring them, a high school curse versus a real curse. They both long for more than this provincial life and understand the need for good friends in tight situations. So that's a little pull from the movie directly, because that's our introduction to Belle and her song. So now I am officially done and ready for a crucifixion. And Ollie, I know you started. Is there anything else you'd like to include with my Belle casting?
I would say the only thing I would argue is that Belle never seems to have ill intentions. Like, she never wants to cause harm, but Cady at the end does want to cause harm, and she kind of lets go of her friends and turns into the queen bee. And I don't think Belle would do that.
Well, what you obviously don't have the director's cut like I do. So
Wait, what?
yes, there's a 4-hour Snyder cut of Beauty and the Beast that nobody has ever seen, and I have it, and that's what I watched. So it's not your fault that you don't know.
Dang it.
No, fair enough. You're right. You're right. Like there is no ill intention from Belle. She just wants a better life.
Yeah. And I don't think she wants to cause harm, but I think Cady does at the end a little bit.
Yeah, she does get caught up in the whole drama of high school and whatnot. I was like, I've got TV, I've got movies. Let's, you know what? And I'm always damning animation. And then like I was like innocent and naive and sweet movie characters, and Belle is like at the top of every list.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I think somebody at BuzzFeed is speaking to me, so I'll just pick Belle and call it a day. Sierra, your turn. Give me the litany of all my picks if you've got any notes for me.
Ooh.
Squash it.
Well, I really actually like Belle as Cady, but I just wonder, like, what would happen to the Beast if she's in with this new cool crowd? I feel bad for the Beast.
They would all turn to stone. She would never be there.
Oh, you're right. Okay, so it would be very problematic if she was going to high school and was really far from the Beast. I just think I sympathize with the Beast.
Fair enough. I never thought about leaving behind precious cargo and what that would do for the. I was just like, I'm just going to take Belle and make my movie, and you know, you don't get Belle without B. They're kind of a package deal. Yeah. Wow. Way to go, Michael. Way to be a Disney fan, man. All right.
Well, it might be a stretch. I mean, we were just talking about recasting the group. We weren't talking about the side effects of doing that.
No. See, if Martin was here, he would applaud you, because these are the kinds of things that he looks at. He goes full fucking character mode. He's like, no, this because that's what we do. We allow for canon to kind of be evolved. So you make a really good point, and I should shut up because now I might be casting something against myself. So, anything else?
Well, Michael, I think nobody tears apart your own debate the way you do, but
Call me Eminem, buddy.
like I think Christina Applegate as Kelly Bundy is a great cast for Karen. I think that's very funny and very, very on the ball. But again, you know, is Beast Aaron Samuels in your movie?
In my porno version, probably, but not in this feature wide release.
So who's Aaron Samuels then? You're really dropping the ball here, Mike.
LaFleur. Our guest.
Is Gaston? Is he?
Yeah, that actually, you know what? Yeah, that is. Thank you, Jimmy. Gaston is Aaron. Well done.
Okay.
We finally got there, eh?
Yeah.
I wish someone would write a song about me the way he can write a song about himself.
Just a quick question. Did anybody like the live version of Beauty and the Beast, or are they still?
I don't think I saw
I
it.
liked it.
You liked it?
Yeah.
Ollie, did you like it?
Yeah, as live versions go, I really liked it. It was the first Broadway musical I ever saw. So I have a little special place in my heart. So
Okay.
yeah, I like it.
I get it. I'm from the cloth of classic Disney and big plastic boxes that cut your fingers when you open them up. So like that's I liked seeing it. I thought the Aladdin live action was actually really good. Like a lot of people like to give me shit for that, but including that guy right there who's making that face. But I thought Will Smith played homage to Robin Williams and did what he should do instead of doing what everybody wanted, which was a complete recreation done with. Okay, you've got your hand raised, Jimmy. What do you want to say?
I don't think I'm gonna vote for you anymore.
Was Will Smith's body in that movie his actual body, or was that a different body? Because I thought it was his head, but someone else's body. That's what I thought.
It may have been somebody playing with his body in a software program.
Yeah, that's
Like,
good.
I think they were like, let's make him big barrel chested, and like I don't think he did the Muhammad Ali thing where he packed on all the muscle and chiseled himself for that. Where it's like when Disney steps in, they're like, don't worry, you don't have to go to the gym. We've got this in place. Like this is the market. What was that?
That's so nice of them.
Right? Like just show up. Don't worry. Like, this isn't Thor. Okay, we don't need Hemsworth muscle. We just need Will Smith comedy. That's what we're asking for. We don't need the Muhammad Ali arms. But okay, so got the girls' consensus on this. Jimmy, anything else you want to say before we call it a?
No, I think you pretty much did it to yourself.
Okay.
Oh god.
It's a trademark move I have here, ladies.
Props for you guys for actually bringing the internet that works.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
damn it.
surprised. My internet's been good.
Am I back?
Been having a struggle.
Is it?
Back.
I'm back? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Nobody's streaming anything in here. That's so weird. But all right. So clearly the internet's against us today. So we're gonna let
Oh no, he's just playing Aladdin in the background. Doesn't know.
He's been streaming Aladdin this whole time.
So let's we're gonna let
Plug
Jim-
your router.
It worked for me.
What's going on here? Am I still frozen?
Oh. You're frozen, but we can hear you.
Oh.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Yeah, we're good. Okay. All right. Fuck, there's gonna be so much work on this episode. That's fine. Oh, did it do it again?
Ooh,
I love this show.
this is fun.
Hang on one second.
Oh,
I'll be right
God.
back. I'll be right back.
Well. Oh god.
Before COVID, were you doing this all in person?
Oh yeah, we would usually get together in a group and spew at each other from across the room. It's nice. It's easy to get jokes in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be so fun. That'll be good when you can get back to that.
It's all we've ever wanted, you know? Sit in a room and argue about movies.
Here, Jimmy, I'll show you my Muppet painting.
Ooh. Yes, please.
One of many. Collective.
I did this one.
Is there's an art gallery?
Yes, I have 3. I did one of Gonzo, Pepe, and Beaker.
Is Pepe the shrimp?
Yeah,
Yes.
and
Wow.
Pepe's above the toilet right now.
My back?
You're back.
Yeah, you are.
Okay. I opened the door. Maybe that was blocking the Wi-Fi. and I turned off something else that I didn't know was streaming. So we'll hope for the best there.
Was it Aladdin?
Oh, it is almost. It's so ridiculous how well you timed that. So for internet's sake and all the bullshit that we're going through today, let's give the girls a chance to go next, and then I'll unplug, and then we can plug back in if we have to for Jimmy. So, girls, what is your version of the plastics for you?
Our version is a very, I would say, diversified version. I would say we're gonna put that card down. Do you want to start with Cady, where Cady is?
Yes. Okay. It's also a very current version. So
Yeah.
up to date, trendy version overall. Our Cady is the character Beth Harmon, who's the actress Anna Taylor-Joy from Queen's Gambit.
Ooh.
Yes.
Reasons. She's already a redhead. So
Mhm.
we pay homage to the original casting.
Yeah.
2, she's super freaking smart. Just like Cady is also very smart. Math, chess, similar.
Same. Pretty much
The
same.
exact same.
And also in like the chess world in Queen's Gambit, she's the new girl. Michael, are you still with us?
100%. Am I frozen, man? This is.
You know, I mean, it's all recording.
Yeah, just keep
That's
going.
true.
Just keep going.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
So continuing, she's the new girl in the chess scene. So she's like the cool new chess girl. And I think she could be like the cool new girl in the Mean Girl squad.
And she
because-
also gets
Yeah.
rebellious in the TV show. She
drinks a lot of
She
wine,
drinks a lot. She takes a lot of
takes
pills.
a lot of pills.
Kind of to stick with Cady getting rebellious.
Yeah.
It could make this new version even more.
Oh yeah.
Rebellious?
Okay, so Cady throws the house party in Mean Girls. And so if Beth threw the house party in the Queen's Gambit, she gets given like a big bougie house. And she's also an orphan, so no parents.
So party would be more epic.
And Olivia thought it could be like Project X meets Mean Girls meets Queen's Gambit.
Yeah.
Sure.
Who wouldn't want to watch that? Okay. Next, who do we got?
Isn't there
Next, we
porn-
got
hang on.
Karen.
Is there
who,
porn in Project X?
I don't know. I just know there's a big house party. I've never actually
Oh
seen
no, Project X is about an actual house party that happened in the States.
Sorry, I'm confusing that with my search history. Go on.
Oh dear God.
it. Okay, Karen. You just think Karen.
Karen, okay. I'll do Karen, then you do Gretchen and Regina.
Okay.
Okay.
So Karen is now Buster Bluth from Arrested Development.
I love it.
Yes, we love Buster. So Buster's got the big eyes, and Karen's got big eyes. They're also both misunderstood.
I would agree with no, you well, I mean anybody with a hook for a hand is misunderstood.
He's a monster.
About the hook hand, Olivia doesn't know about that yet.
I haven't gotten that far.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But it's okay.
It's not. Doesn't seem like a huge.
No,
So
no, it's actually not a spoiler at all. I retract my sorry. You don't get my sorry. Give me your debate.
save your stories. He would also look really cute in the mouse costume. So he'd be ultra cute at the Halloween party. Especially with his glasses with the mouse costume.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he would date his cousin. His love has no boundaries. And he gets like drunk off of juice. And so we thought like that's kind of like his superpower. And Karen's got her weather telling booby superpower.
That's right.
So he's got a superpower, so he's already qualified in that way. And he's also a really good sheep follower, like he is with his mom in the show. So he's like, he knows how to be a good follower. Loyal.
Which Bluth are we talking about though?
Wait, what?
Which Lucille are we talking about?
Oh,
Yeah. Remember?
Sorry.
Even I know that.
oh, I guess. Well, we're talking about his mom, his like true mom, Lucille.
Okay.
Right. They're both named Lucille.
But it's a good point that he can be a follower to anyone because when Cady takes over the group, he would still follow
Yeah.
the new
So it
Cady.
doesn't matter which Lucille we're talking about. I was just trying to help you out. Go on.
And I guess for like a final point, he's got army training. We don't know like how great it is, but he's qualified. And I think that would help. Help with what? Just any aspect of being in this Mean Girls squad.
Right.
Being a part of the plastics, I think army training can't be a negative thing.
Quotes there on that. Army training, not negative. Okay, next, Gretchen, we think a new kind of more, because Gretchen in the original is very insecure, and we kind of wanted to cast someone who could kind of make that more current and not so insecure. So we picked Aquafina because we think that she's famous for an internet song called My Vag. So that's how she kind of got famous. And
Okay.
that's better. We think that's better than being famous for Toaster Strudel. So we think that's like the more current version of high school fames if you had a famous internet song.
I can pull that together. Okay.
We think that she always, usually in the movies Aquafina plays, she's usually the sidekick, so she's really good at that. But we think it would be funnier because she would say what's on her mind a little bit more, and we'd get maybe a little bit more drama because there wouldn't be so much her playing nice. We could get more girl fights.
Yeah. Hey, who doesn't love a cat fight? I mean, I am not ashamed to admit I like a cat fight. I don't want nobody to get really hurt, but the first stages of a cat fight are fun to watch.
Yes.
Mhm.
Anything else?
Well, she's also her real name is Nora Lum. So she's got this like life she could return to if she ever wanted to dip, which I think is an important thing for Gretchen, like because she's already on the edge. So she's got her life in Queens, Nora from Queens.
That she could just dip out to.
So she could just dip out to Queens, and she also, if she wants to stay in the group, she's got this like badassness because she's from Queens. Like I just thought anyone who's lives close to New York
Is badass.
is badass, more badass than any the average.
Yeah, I think anybody who lives the furthest away from Winnipeg and the closest to New York is a badass by all of our definition. We all think
The
that.
Niagara Falls are so cool.
Swift Current, I tell ya. I just want.
Man, Swift Current. Swift Current. I did a show in Swift Current.
They have a great slogan.
What is it?
I think it's where life makes sense.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow. Shout out to Swift Current, where life makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. And finally, our Regina is the one and only Miss Piggy. A no-brainer because Miss Piggy, she takes no shit, just like Regina. She has fabulous hair always.
She has fabulous hair all the time.
Right. What, Yoda?
It was an attempt at Miss Piggy, and somehow Yoda was like, "No, I'm coming out."
Yeah. Miss Piggy is known for being violent, so we also think that she would end up on a rugby team, just like the original Regina.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I dig it.
We also think girls would be extra scared of her because she's a puppet. So
She's a
extra,
pig
she's a pig. Yeah, she's a pig puppet. And then just because we cast her, we would say that Kermit would have to be Aaron Samuels, which we think would be pretty enjoyable to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Miss Piggy is a fabulous stage performer, so when they turn our new version into a musical, she could be in that cast.
Yes, and they perform in the school. They do their little Santa Claus dance.
Yeah.
So already it would probably be more theatrical
Yeah.
and just overall better. And Miss Piggy could bring in her production team. So they could do, what's the song they do?
Santa baby.
Is it?
No, it's Jingle Bell Rock.
Oh, it's Jingle
Oh,
Bell.
wow.
But they're dressed like Santa's babies.
So, yes. Wow.
Thank you for that.
Like that.
Like Santa's like
Does
baby-
Santa have babies?
No, like the sexy kind of baby. Like, not the
oh,
baby.
like Santa baby.
Yeah.
The vibe, not Santa's children.
No.
Does Santa
There's a lot of sexy babies.
Santa has sexy babies?
I mean,
Anyway.
I think the elves were always just assumed as like adopted children. So I don't. Yeah, go on.
That's it.
I don't think I have.
That's our ending argument.
Anything else to say?
Anyway, so any argument is our recasting is current. We've got all different types of peoples and puppets, and there would be more cat fights, and the parties would be bigger and better.
Yeah.
Jimmy, I'm going to let you go first, buddy.
Okay. Now, I love Buster is an amazing cast for Karen. That's hilarious. I love that very much. My only dig is that I don't know if you got Kermit being Aaron Samuels and Miss Piggy being Regina. They have a bond that is just unbreakable, you know? And I don't think you have your happy Cady Aaron ending if it's going to be Miss Piggy and Kermit. I think they just love each other too much. Tenet.
True.
We did think about this. This
But-
did come up.
The jealousy that Miss Piggy has would still create the same amount of drama
That's true. And that's where the movie is centered in.
the movie is. Who knows what happens 5 years after the original Mean Girls? Maybe Erin Samuels goes back to Regina George. But she's also in a coma at the end, isn't she?
No, she's in a back brace with flowers.
Ah.
Yeah.
Wasn't that
It's,
like a
it's actually what
designer?
I want in my own graduation too.
We can. That's not hard to make happen. I think. If you want to recreate that for a sketch, I would. I will help. I have a stretcher at work. I'll totally do this. Like.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you do?
What?
What exactly do you do, Mike?
I'm in a sales and support position for the construction industry. That is that.
See, Mike, I'm in the funeral business and I don't have a stretcher at all.
That's a
No
good point. Out of the two of us, it would make more sense for you to have one, just in case the coffin wasn't ready and you needed to move the body, right? Like it's, these are things that one has to think of on the fly. Do you have any other things? Like I am good to wait until you've exhausted all of your.
No, I mean, I think this was an excellent casting, and I'm very happy because it means I don't have to vote for Mike.
We're so happy that we made your job easier.
The running joke is like I never win here. Like I never like I'm like just never.
One time.
Yeah, like one time this year I think I've won so far, which is not like you don't do it to win, you do it to participate. That's what I keep telling my mental health. No, so what I'm getting at is I will give you my list. So you had me in a weird position. Like you had me in like an arm bar, but you weren't doing anything to me because I love Buster. I'm a huge Buster fan. And it's like you just like when you go to the optometrist and they like same better worse, it's same, right? That's what I see. But then you brought in Buster's military experience and I just feel that his inability to know whatever, like we don't know, none of us know what his military experience is, but we can all assume that it's enough that he probably was near a gun. And the reason he's no longer there is because he was near a gun. So I just know that him in a panicked situation with deadly skills might cause a accidental school shooting or something. That, like, but in a comedic way, like where he like has his gun and I'm thinking outside the box pretty far, but that's my only fear is that he would just apply the wrong kind of training to a situation because he's an idiot. That's why, like, you don't let an idiot have military training. But as
We're trying to get sponsored, Mike.
For the sake of the argument, Jimmy, it's for the sake of the argument.
But there's no guns in Mean Girls.
No, I know. That's why I'm saying, like, I'm way out there, right? Like, I just, like, in comparative terms, okay, maybe he would think someone's, someone shotgunned a beer and he thought it was a grenade and he jumped on them by accident. Like, that kind of, maybe I'm pulling from, that might come into play. But then you had me back with Santa's babies and just how, like, perfect. It's absolutely perfect. I love how you pulled in the Santa Claus stuff. I love the current. I love the mix. I love that you didn't listen. Like, I love that you were like, no, it can be a dude. Why not? We're casting that. Like, I love the progressive mentality of it. It's perfect. So yeah, my only fear is just a ill-timed event from Buster's random military experience. He could have just driven a Jeep. I don't know. Like, I mean, I'm worried that it'll be a problem down the road, because all Karen does is she's like, oh, it's moist outside and the temperature's 24 with her boobs. Like, Buster doesn't, like, I'm done.
Look, if we've learned anything, it's that people who drive Jeeps won't be allowed out in public when the pandemic is over.
This is very true.
Wait, am I missing some sort of thing about a Jeep? What? Yeah. Because I've always wanted a Jeep because of Barbie.
Oh, like a cute pink one?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, you'd be fine. You'd be totally fine with a pink Jeep.
Okay.
So, anyways, yeah. I'm glad I don't have to vote for myself or Jimmy now. I think I'm pretty. I think Jimmy's the only one who can split this for you guys here. So, and what I mentioned earlier about how we were originally going to go with this route. He's stretching. Look at this. He's ready to dominate. Dabby. So, Jimmy, close us out here, dude. Who can recreate the plastics?
Well, Michael, and everyone listening, if you haven't noticed, every couple of weeks I will pick an example that I have not watched or seen in any way, shape, or form. So I've decided to recast the Mean Girls with the Golden Girls, with part of the original idea. And now it was fun, but again, I haven't seen much of the Golden Girls. I've seen Mean Girls a few times. I love it. And I can only imagine it's the exact same TV show movie comparison. I don't know this. But I have my casting list, and I think just reading like character profiles off of Wikipedia, I have found that I think, and I'll start with Cady, as it is said. My Cady would be Rose or Betty White's character. Betty White is, as we all know, the heart behind the Golden Girls, as all of us know.
I think she's the only one left alive too, so that also means that's why hearts kept beating.
That does really help that she is still alive. This would, of course, be a hologram-centered movie.
Oh, I like that.
But basically, so instead of a high school, this is going to take place at a senior citizens home where Rose, Blanche, Sophia, and Dorothy, I totally knew their names already. It's funny, I know, because I know B. Arthur and I know Betty White, but I didn't remember the rest. I know Karen is going to be my Blanche, played by Rue McClanahan. Save some days for the rest of us. Rue McClanahan. I think Blanche is a perfect, like, she's just there to have fun kind of person. Like she's in the group. She's not snippy. Like she's not coming back with some witty retorts. She's there to have fun, and she's the most fun of the group. And that's exactly what Karen is someone that I would actually want to spend time with. My Gretchen will be Sophia or Estelle Getty. I think she's B. Arthur's mother in the show. I think.
Yes, yeah.
Now Gretchen, of course, Gretchen likes to gossip. Gretchen, she likes to hear herself a lot, and I think that's pretty close to how Sophia or Estelle Getty is. Like she's very, another word for gossipy is just like she tells it like it is. You know what I mean? Like she's very good at. She's got the witty retorts. Like if it's going to be anyone coming back at you, I don't know if that's Gretchen, but I don't feel like there's anyone in that group who is throwing around the quick comebacks. So I think in a senior homes kind of situation, I feel like Sophia would be a perfect little Gretchen there. Now as for Regina, there's only one left. So Regina is obviously my Dorothy, my B. Arthur, my love. If anyone's gonna be Regina, it's got to be B. Arthur. B. Arthur is she scares the living hell out of me, and I love every little bit of it.
Oh my gosh.
Now, before we vote, I'd like to keep in mind all of my Golden Girls research has been done online in the last few days. Maybe I should have watched an episode or two. Maybe, but I feel like just getting this out into the open will make a Golden Girls spin-off movie happen, and I'm happy to help.
No, there was already a spin-off TV show, wasn't there?
Damn it!
Didn't they try to do, wasn't it Hot in Cleveland? Was it that the...
Betty White was in Hot in Cleveland, but they did a spin-off called The Golden Palace, and the creator of Arrested Development, that was like his first big project before he went off to Arrested Development.
Really? And it just didn't take.
Things I should have known.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but, and this is only through what I hear from Shauna and her girlfriends, but is Silver Fox Estates the place where they live in the show?
I don't know.
I'll say yes.
Yes. The only reason I'm saying this is that there is a Silver Fox Estates in East St. Paul.
Oh.
And it's a retirement area, like where you can buy a home and retire. So if it is, because every time Shauna, because we go to my parents, live in my parents live in a retirement community, and did it freeze?
Ghost of B. Arthur.
Did it freeze?
I wish Michael would be possessed by B. Arthur sometimes.
I hate that. There's nothing going on in the house.
I went to an ice cream place in New York, and it was like drag queens would give you the ice cream cone, and their best ice cream cone was called the B. Arthur.
Oh, what was it?
It was like it was super tall, obviously. Vanilla chocolate type ice cream cone.
That sounds delicious.
From what I remember, it was really good.
Can you guys still hear me?
Oh yeah, you're back.
Now we can.
Okay, all right. Give me like a cue that I'm back, because I am like.
Do this.
Okay, perfect.
It's a classic.
Yeah, no, I don't know what's going on. I upped it too. I'm paying for more. God damn it. But back to what you were saying, Jimmy. I think for somebody who was forced to watch multiple episodes, multiple episodes over and over again, never mind just multiple episodes back to back. My grandmother was a huge fan, and she was a very B. Arthur lady. She had the big shoulder pads and the big poofy hair, and it was silver instead of gray. And like, I think you've nailed it from somebody who knows a lot about it. Like, it was part of my childhood, and for doing it cold, I mean, I'm not voting for you because you're being a dick, but I'm just saying, like, just for your own independence and confidence, you fucking nailed it, dude. Like, it's the movie I want to see now. And this guy that Ollie mentioned who tried to do it once, like, do it now. Like, right now is when people want it.
Fun fact, while I was doing a little bit of research for this, they actually do make t-shirts with the Golden Girls at like a cafeteria table that says "You can't sit with us."
That's absolutely hilarious. Shauna has one that just says the Golden Girls on it, and it's got everybody on the front. My mom made her a Golden Girls pillow, so it's got character versions on one side and then just like Golden Girls and all the things that go along with it on the other side. Golden Girls is a big deal in this house. So, like, I mean,
I think we can all agree that I won this week.
maybe we can. So yeah, no, I can't really say, like, you've done it so well, and you've done it in a vein that's a throwback to a time in television where, like, those women are so fucking funny. Like, all of them. Like, I love Rue was my favorite. We have Funkos of Rue and Estelle, and ones that I like. I buy. What do I buy? I buy Hansel and what's his face from Derek and Hansel from Zoolander, and she buys the Golden Girls. But
Hansel's hot right now.
Hansel is so hot right now. But yeah, I'm gonna stop blabbing. I'll let the girls. What do you girls think?
Well, I'll go because you are very passionate about this, and I can just talk really quick, and then you can talk. Okay.
Okay.
I can't believe I'm gonna admit this, but I think that me and Jimmy have done the exact same amount of research for this Golden Girls thing, because I read Wikipedia last night to understand the Golden Girls.
You
Because I was
told
like,
me you watched it.
but no, I watched one episode this morning, first episode, while I was getting ready to come over. I put it on YouTube, watched it. But yeah, all I did was read the Wikipedia page and watch one episode. And I love this version, especially like thinking about the production of like making it into an actual movie. I think it's very COVID safe, which because it's a hologram, like they're like most of them are holograms, and it's set in a senior citizens home, which I think like would be great for all the senior citizens who've been stuck inside for a year. I just think
It'll be fun for them to
it's
see.
hard for me to say this wouldn't be the best choice,
Well, no, that's so
because I'm thinking about all the grandmas, and I think it'd be too sweet.
Oh,
And it's a hologram in the senior citizen, so like it could actually happen, and you could film it on location because everyone's a hologram, so like they wouldn't actually have to be COVID tested or masked up,
except
for Betty White. But it would be
But she's invincible.
Betty White alone in
Something.
a senior citizens home. It just hits so many emotional places.
Basically, Betty White would be acting the same way that Michael Jordan acted in Space Jam. Like, nothing's actually around him.
Yeah.
It's just him.
In Space Jam?
I saw it when I was a kid.
Okay.
Everybody get up. It's time to slam now.
Keep going.
You keep going. Keep stroking his ego.
Oh, I guess, okay, that's all I have to say about on my side is that
That was so
I
good.
can't say that that's a bad version. I think it's great,
You
and I
just
think
tugged-
it could easily happen.
Yeah, you tugged on our heartstrings. And
Yeah.
I think I'm a huge Golden Girls fan. I have a calendar of them in my kitchen. I binge watched it when I moved into my apartment, my bachelor apartment, and I couldn't see anybody. I binge watched it, so it has a special place in my heart because they kept me company for those first really lonely months. And yes, I would agree. I think you did for not knowing a lot about it. I think you did a great job. And I think it's a version, like our version was like the party version, but your version is just like really sentimental, sweet version. And
I took a BuzzFeed quiz and I figured out which Golden Girl I am. Would you guys like to guess?
Ooh, I think you're. Is it her name Sophia, the grandma?
Sophia. Yeah.
Yeah, I
you
think
Sophia?
you're her.
I am indeed Sophia.
Good job. Good for
Wow.
you.
Oh my gosh, and I only did one Wikipedia page worth of research.
I love that it's come down to this. Okay, Ollie, so yeah.
The important thing is Michael lost this week.
I'm just so stunned that, like, again, fuck you, Jimmy. You, in the most loving way, somehow managed to do this again. I love that you do it. Like, I love that you can somehow make me give you your vote, even though I really don't fucking want to. Well,
Thanks, man.
you got, you girls are good. You've got everything in you want to say to this, because I'm good to push it to the vote right now. Okay.
Oh, to the vote.
Yeah, let's vote before the internet really cuts me off indefinitely today. We like to do it, simply put, where you just open up the chat in the Zoom meeting and then type in the name of the person that you win. Now, because we've only had three recastings and we have 4 people, we're going to use 4 votes so that it can kind of mix things up. So Ollie and Sierra get a vote each, and then me and Jimmy get a vote each, and then we'll see how this pans out. And if we have a tie for the first time, everybody's at the beach or going to the beach, so we're just going to have ties going forward. There's going to be some, like, the points don't matter, just like,
Do a rematch if it's a tie.
Yeah, there we go. Man, that's why we need to compare notes. So, up the chat here, and so put it in, and then on the count of 3, we'll all hit enter at the same time. So it pops up at the same time. So.
Oh no! Whoops! Everybody, I sent it. Ignore that. Don't look.
Don't let me influence you. I know I'm very influential.
No. You got this.
I want 2 votes.
Well, what can't
Hey,
see,
I'm good. I'm done. I'm good.
what you can't see, ladies and gentlemen, is that
Are we ready?
we have 1 vote for Jimmy,
Yes.
and we have 2 votes for Jimmy, and then we have 1 vote for CC and Ollie. And
Well, I'm gonna wait 10 minutes before I put in my vote.
Okay, all right. So Ollie votes Jimmy, duh. Jimmy votes CC and Ollie. Sierra votes Jimmy again, and
Twice.
so we have 2 for Jimmy, we have 1 for Sierra and Ollie. And I mean, I just want to say that you guys did really well, and you totally fucking grasped the idiocy that we do here.
Just type my name. Type my name, Michael.
All right, I'm gonna stop trying to win an Academy Award here. Fine, Jimmy, you fucking win.
Good job, Jimmy. Good job.
I mean, okay, girls, do you agree with me that that was because of he's so, like, that's what annoys me, is that he's so good about figuring it out blind that if it works, it works. Like, we treat these as 4 mini movies, so if that's how he comes up with it, then unfortunately, good research or not, does not always win. Just like the big guy doesn't always take out the little guy.
Sometimes it doesn't work. I tried to pretend that I'd seen Air Bud and it failed.
Oh wow. Have you
You'd think not a lot happens in that movie, but apparently a lot does. There's like a dog robbery. It's just too much.
And then
golden retriever and basketball?
That's what I thought. There's also football and volleyball, and then there's puppies. There's just too much.
Wow. Sounds almost as intense as my new show.
sounds like, is that the startup?
Yeah.
Startup and Airbud, one and the same.
But yeah, so what was your logical reasoning for voting for him, girls?
Well,
It's Betty White.
just
The
for
grandmas.
older women, it hit our heart. Is really sensitive and heartwarming, and also I just want to see it happen. It sounds futuristic. And
Futuristic.
yeah, it does. It sounds futuristic, but still rooted in like the 80s. I think it's
Keep
amazing.
going. Keep going.
I'm ready to invest.
You get our money.
Jimmy, get a Kickstarter going, Jimmy. Let's see how far we can take this.
There are holograms, but it still takes place in the 80s.
Yes, that's the kicker. That's the sincerity. If you tried to update it with like IKEA related furniture, it would not do well.
No.
Thrift store only.
Thrift store, yeah, take it back. And Jimmy, I'll put one up on the board for you. That makes 3 for the year so far. You and Mark are neck and neck in the race that doesn't matter.
You know what, Mike? I give it all up to the Lord.
The Lord and Starbucks.
The Lord and Starbucks.
I'm gonna get myself a frap.
Friar Frap, is that or like
Oh.
Saint Frappuccino? There it is.
Whoa.
I feel blessed.
Before we, I don't want to go just yet because this whole thing kind of stemmed from me asking you, hey, do you think Sierra and Ollie would want to do the show? And you were like, oh yeah, they're funny. They would totally want to do the show. And I want to know, like, how did you guys meet? How did you guys get going and what that you're doing? Because you're doing sketch comedy and a podcast. Am I correct?
Yep.
Yeah. Is that all? I think so.
We
That's-
could do more.
We're doing sketch comedy. We're doing a podcast. We also write together like big projects. Like we wrote a short film and we have a TV show pilot.
They don't go anywhere, but we write
And
them.
some poetry.
Yeah, we're getting the slam poetry.
We should do slam poetry.
I don't want to.
Let's do it.
Cynthia.
Jesus died for our Cynthias. Jesus cried. Runaway bride. Julia Rob. Julia Rob.
There you go. Slam
I'm
poetry.
glad I got you guys going.
That was what we needed to do today.
But the question was, how did we meet?
Yeah. How did what you're doing together start?
The origin story of
Yeah.
us?
Give me your Wolverine.
Whoa.
I'm going to charge my computer.
Yes,
You
plug
start.
in the computer. Okay. It was in an 8:30 a.m. theater class in the University of Winnipeg, in the basement in the probably haunted studio.
Oh,
that-
what about that one? Yeah, I've heard.
But I
heard
looked
some
at
stories.
Olivia in a knit sweater and a beanie, and she looked at me
Oh, yeah.
in a Lululemon outfit, and we thought,
I hate her.
I hate her. Wow, that's what you thought?
No, I thought, no, I did not think that. I thought this girl was popular in high school. She's probably not going to like me. And then I found you to be very funny. And then we started to hang out and make like little comedy videos at my house. And then we just have never stopped. And now it has
Yeah.
grown into creating comedy as a duo together during a pandemic.
Yes.
What's that? Like, I mean, we were so stupid new at this that we were just like, well, we have nothing else to do, so we might as well try to figure out how to do it. But like, what is it like where you lose? Like, I think podcasting can survive in a pandemic, but the writing together and not being able to see each other for a minute, I imagine, like using all that shit to get through it. Was that something that worked, or?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the first, like last year's summer, we weren't seeing each other because you were still at home. And we were just writing back and forth, and then we would have these like lengthy Zoom meetings, and I felt like you and me were like writing some top secret script, and our families just got to witness this like thing happening. And
We
I
decided that we were going to pitch to Netflix, which we ended up doing.
yeah, we pitched to Netflix last summer.
Never pitched in our entire lives. And we decided, let's do this separately. I don't know why.
Because they
why
put
we
out
did
a call for, they're like open call Canadian content. And so, yeah, we spent the summer writing a movie and pitched it. And we didn't hear anything back for 3 months until I got a random email and saying no.
But okay, first of all, balls for pitching. Like I listen to a lot of one podcast, and it's Fat Man Beyond with Kevin Smith, and they talk about pitching all the time, and it's tough and it's intimidating and it's not something that you're really practiced for. And so, like, congrats to you for pitching. Like, I don't have the balls to pitch anybody. I would, now that you've mentioned it, I'm like, man, we should have pitched them, Jimmy, and been like, you guys don't do a podcast, we'll do your podcast. Like, Netflix should have a video podcast on their network.
They should.
They should.
You
Like-
should pitch that.
Oh. You want to pitch it for us? Because you've done it already. But no,
So-
that's super fucking awesome that you did that. What was that experience like? I mean, did you do it? Like, you pitched them, you sent them an email, and they had like a process for it, or did you make
Yeah.
a video and they wanted to see the video and then they would get back to you based on that?
Yeah, they had like a whole kind of profile thing that you had to kind of get together. Yeah, it was I mean, it was our first time, so I think we didn't really have anything else to base it off of. And now looking back, I was like, what we did was that was a lot. Like, I never really realized the gravity of what we were doing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, well, it makes sense only in the fact that you enjoyed what you were doing and you weren't seeing it as something that you were like worried about doing. You were just, let's do it. And then,
Yeah, and I think we didn't really, because everything going on, we were just kind of doing it to see if we could do it. I don't really think we were like, this movie is our soul like baby,
Yeah.
and if it doesn't get made, we're going to be crushed. It was kind of just to be like, what would happen?
And I guess starting like so big last summer,
Yeah.
doing that, I guess it like turned into like a spiraling of just creating all the time, and like that's how CC and Ollie became.
Yeah, just kind of just saying, fuck it, and going for it. I think
Yeah.
that's,
Is that a swear?
whoa, I swear. Like, you guys heard it here first.
I did not have enough Jesus Frappuccinos today to prepare myself for that.
no, I dig your shit, and it's fun to watch. Like, I that's why I said to Jimmy, I was like, do you think they'd give a shit? And he was like, oh yeah, they're very nice and they're very funny. So I was like, okay, good, because it would be fun to talk to you guys and play this dumb game, because you get making up fun stuff and then trying to convey it. So it was a no.
yeah.
Yeah, the
We're
whole
good.
trying to convey it thing is really something that we're working on. Usually where the comedy comes from is just the trying to convey
Well, you're really good.
something.
No, I get it. Like, we just started fucking around with video, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun to just come up with dumb shit and see what it looks like once it's put together. And yeah, I mean, not every, like, when we were talking to Expressions, they'd mentioned that, like, when they mentioned people who are naturally born with talent, you can't be naturally born being good at acting, because acting is also so much about listening and paying attention and being in the moment and, just locked in, that your first pitch, your first attempt at anything shouldn't be good, because if it is, you're not learning from it. So, like, I'm sure you learned a ton of shit. You were like, hey, let's just do this to see if we can do it. Now it's like, okay, if we want to do it, we should do this differently.
Yeah, and I think it taught us to not be so like precious with everything, and not to be so perfect, and just to like put out whatever we want to make, put it out, see how people react to it, and then kind of go from there and react to the reactions that we're getting. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it also was like I already knew you because we've been friends for ever since 2013.
You don't remember?
I always mix it up. I already knew you, but then working separately from our household in a pandemic, trying to create a fictional world through a computer screen, like I knew where you're coming from, but I didn't realize the process of writing a script and pitching an idea and like having two separate brains to come together as
Yeah.
one through a computer screen.
Always.
Yeah,
Basically, I love you.
Who do you guys? I mean, you mentioned SNL earlier. Obviously, you have very good taste if SNL is on your list. that did you think at the end of the year that there's a lot of people leaving? Do you get that feeling that maybe
I'm so scared that A.D. Bryant is leaving and that Kenan Thompson is leaving because he has his show and she has her show.
Right.
and shout out to Shrill. It's awesome.
Great show.
I haven't watched it yet, but I just noticed last night. Is it on Crave?
Yup.
You should
Yeah.
watch it.
I'm gonna
You
watch
would really,
it.
you'd really like it.
I love A.D. Bryant.
I
I
know.
feel like she could be my older sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's fantastic in it, and it's like it's not marketed towards dudes, but give it a sit down and watch it, give it a chance. Like I saw the humor in it and can totally appreciate it for being a douchebag dude on the other side of it, and like I can laugh at myself and some of those characters. So it's like, oh okay, yeah, I've been that guy, or yeah, that's douchey. I know someone who's done that. Like those are the
Fairness.
well, I try. It's not always a home run, but no, she's great. I got a feeling that, yeah, there is some. I mean, I think McKinnon's gonna stick
Cecily's
around
gonna
still.
leave?
What was that?
Do you think Cecily Strong's gonna go?
I hope she doesn't. I adore her. Michael Shay is easily one of my favorite characters ever. When she comes out and gets just hammered and drunk and starts going on the conspiracy bandwagon, that character's great.
Throwing it everywhere.
I love how she jumped into the wine at the end, like the whole thing
I
of
know.
wine. That was great.
Yeah, Sean is a huge SNL fan. I think she was at a taping because she's got some memorabilia from when they were there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if she's at a taping. It had something to do with it, or maybe she went on the tour of the studio and stuff. But
He sat on the Wayne's World couch.
oh, really?
Yes, we did. And
Excellent.
we sat at the weekend update desk.
Table. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, with
Oh.
With a fake Seth Meyers.
We have a picture of a hologram set.
Hologram
Let me
Seth
grab
Meyers.
it.
We were at, it was I know this is so weird, but it was at the 40th anniversary and they had we were in New York, I took Sierra and there was this whole exhibit and she knew like hardly anything about SNL at the time and I was like gonna cry, but now she's a full
I
fan.
knew nothing except for Superstar, the movie, because that's one of my favorite movies, and Mary Catherine Gallagher.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the only thing I knew. So we got to. Oh yes, here we go.
Oh, that's amazing. That's royalty right there. That's like kissing the Pope's ring or some weird awkward shit.
So we're gonna show this to Seth Meyers when we're on his show one day. We're gonna be like, remember
we met you?
You really, I hope you do all of that. I hope I will pump your career just so that happens. Because he'll be like, no, yeah, he'll say yes. You know, he'll give you the Hollywood yes. Be like, totally. And then you'll be like, Seth, we never met you. Then you really fuck with him. Like, you weren't even there. Seth, this is in our basement.
Oh my god.
You want to see an interview go sideways? That'll tell you Joaquin Phoenix an interview right there. You don't put chewing gum on the table and just start saying weird shit. You make up a stalker scenario that doesn't exist. See how far you'd be like Sinead O'Connor on SNL. You'd never be welcome back. I mean, for granted, right? Whatever. But like, no, that's like, so SNL's a big deal. Anybody else that you guys follow that, like, I mean, I can see very, very similar, and I mean this as a compliment. You've got Baroness von Sketch all over you.
Yeah.
We love them.
And obviously it shows because I emulate Kevin Smith. I mean, someone once called me the Wish.com version of him. So I mean, and I'm totally fine with that. Like it's the best compliment. It's my fucking Twitter handle. But like, it's really prevalent in that you get it. You know how to write that comic. So what I'm saying is that like there's similarities in a lot of good ways.
Thank you. I think. Oh,
you
you
go.
talk.
I think it's also because like we were talking about this the other day that we don't know a lot of like Canadian female comedians. Like we have Schitt's Creek and Baroness von Sketch, but we were like we don't know any like Canadian female duos. And so I feel like Baroness von Sketch is like is a really good comparison because that is kind of who we watched
Who we were like,
Who we
oh, that's
were- yeah.
what we're doing.
who we were
Oh,
like
that's really
available to see that were Canadian females.
Yeah, no, it's and like Shauna loves the show, and it's the one where she does the French accent for the husband, and he's like she's talking about the gardener who's French and getting off on him while she's grinding the husband who just wants the French accent used on him.
Yeah.
Just a bit like it is so fucking funny. Like, and like I'm sitting there awkward as shit because I know Sean has probably done that with Jason Momoa, and that's fine. Like, I don't care. I don't care. I have anti Momoa hair. I am losing the hair that Momoa has in spades, so it's fine. Get a pass. But like that kind of thinking, that's the and like your Jets thing that you did, like that whole, like you're playing with really awkward fun situations that have comedy in them.
Yes, and that's what we love because we always find ourselves in very awkward situations, and so we thought, why not use that?
Yeah, like because with the Jets sketch, we were like, oh, we're watching playoff hockey, like really watching it for the first time ever.
Yeah, you are.
Normally I would just be snacking or like at a bar having a beer, not paying attention. But now we're actually really invested in it, and we're like,
It's an intense world in there.
yeah. I was gonna ask you.
Sure.
We also really, really want to one day recreate Step Brothers, but our version.
Oh,
Because you've always said like you love Step Brothers,
I do.
and you think that we're actually kind of them.
yeah.
What about Step Brothers? Do you think we could do it? And if so, how should we
want to do
approach it?
What the
Jimmy, you go first on that one because I have a hot take on that. So you go first.
What is this?
I mean, so who's who?
You mentioned this.
I've mentioned it'd be
Multiple
funny to
times.
do like a stepsisters version, but I definitely feel like you're Will Ferrell. No, but I'm a singer. I don't know.
But isn't like who's the violent one again?
Who's the
John C. Riley.
Yeah, I think I would be
I
John C.
think
Riley.
I would touch your drum set.
Yeah, that's right there. That's how you figure out who you'd be. Will I touch your drum set, or would you touch my drum set? And that
That's how. I guess that's how we determine that.
you need to get a T-shirt that says "I would touch your drum set,"
Yeah, you should.
and
Well,
and that would be your like decoder ring for the world to be like, oh, you know, funny, because if you know what that means, then we can talk. But if you're like, what's that shirt mean, and you don't instinctively get the pop culture reference, be like, we're not friends. Seriously, fuck off. I don't care if you have fuck you money. Get out of my life. I've always said to never touch that movie with him in it. I don't think it should ever be sequelized, but the comedy is there to do Stepsisters for sure. For sure, 100%. Like it is in its brilliance. It is what two dudes would do at like 16 being 40. So what would two girls do at 40 if they were 16?
Mhm.
So that's like the karate and the ninja swords and all of the nerdy things like the bunk beds and all of that stuff is nerdy 16-year-old boy shit. So it works if you do nerdy 16-year-old girl shit that you all missed out on, because that would be awkward as fuck. That's a Tina Fey, Amy Poehler right there for sure. So if you played it like that, you'd have an audience for sure. Because you already have the dudes who are like, I get it. Like you'd have all of us who are like, that's a fucking hilarious movie. So we already know. That's why Ocean's 8 didn't work, because it wasn't a different version. It was the same version with really great characters, but it wasn't different enough that like it still has to have its similarities, and don't think for a second that I don't think like it's not the male female thing. It's just the story thing that has to change so that people appreciate it. So if these thieves were stealing something that was more in tune with them than just what dudes would steal, then I feel that people would have given it more of a chance and not shit on it, right? So copying too much of a thing, if you're going to redo it in a different way, if it's not done, it's got to be handled with care because you have nerds. Nerds are the worst,
That's a
Super
big
fans are
debate.
scary.
right?
That's the
So,
whole thing you could debate is remaking movies.
and I'm not against a remake. Like there are some out there that I like. I can't think of any right now, which might not be true that I like many. But the point is that I'm sure some have been okay enough, but it's just the super fans that will get you. So if you would, that's what I think. If you were to do it, that would be the way to talk to new 16-year-old girls.
Yeah.
Who would find it funny that 40-year-old girls or 30-year-old girls, whatever, don't get this shit. While at the same time, you've got me and Jimmy going, yeah, no, oh my God, that's awkward. And we'd all be sitting there just.
Like book smart, but you're 40.
Yeah.
Ah,
Book smart, but we're 40.
I love that dream. That's I'm just gonna say that.
I didn't even know.
I love that. You have mentioned it so many. I thought
But it was just
I
like
was
a
gonna
funny
bring
thing.
something. No, because like when you started, didn't you watch Step Brothers like a few times in lockdown?
Okay, did I get a little bit stoned for a while and watch it every night? Yes, I was coping
You were
with
sending
COVID.
me scenes
Was I?
from it. Yeah.
Oh. I thought this was
I
a
thought this
phase.
was your big comedy inspiration.
I love it. Yeah, but like kind of like a funny like pipe dream, like ha ha ha.
Oh, it is a pipe dream.
You
Yeah.
dressed up as Will Ferrell would be funny.
You just want me to. I see.
But I like this. I like that you're manifesting this now.
Oh yeah. I don't know. Things are spiraling.
Yo, oh my God, I know what it's like. I don't want to put you out of the rabbit hole, lady. Out of the rabbit hole. Anyways, I know I would love to keep you girls here for the rest of the afternoon. This is a lot of fun, but we can always do another one of these because I know me and Jimmy wants to get to the beach. So sun's out, guns out over there for Jimmy. And there they are. So girls, thank you so much for taking a couple hours out of your afternoon to play our dumb game and have some fun with us.
We loved your done game.
That's
And she almost made it through that sentence. Ooh.
that's a Hollywood.
We
That's
love
a
how
Hollywood.
dumb you are, Michael.
Yes. Yeah. Well, where can people find all of your stuff? Where can they subscribe to all your things?
I'm done talking.
Oh
Search
my
your-
God. Cece and Ollie. That is just type that into the web and you'll find everything.
That's like our Instagram name, our TikTok name, our YouTube name is Cece, like the two letters C and Ollie.
Perfect. Well, it'll be littered all over this episode bio as well too. So if you're seeing this, just find out the @ and add a lot of funny to your week and subscribe to this stuff.
Yay!
And
Thank you. This was really fun.
well, we try. Not hard, but we try. Jimmy, we don't have anything, right? There's nothing. Oh, the YouTube stuff. That's what we got.
YouTube. We subscribe to your channel. So
Thank
good.
you. Thank you very much. There's a bunch of stuff. We got a lot of videos, actually. All people have been doing is just sending us cell phone videos and we chop them up and make them funny. So like, and I'm just waiting for every moment where someone says something that sparks a moment in a movie in my brain. And then I add that in, or I incorporate that somehow. So like, we're taking a review that if you're describing it one way, I'm trying to find another way to incorporate another entire movie into it. I think that's where these are going. And
Like a mashup.
like a mashup. Yeah. And we keep getting Chris Cook from Cook Like Chris. He keeps sending us shit that we didn't ask for it. He just sends it. So we keep putting it up. Like it's fine. I'm okay with it. The guy's got nothing better to do. But so if you see another one of his up and you want to call him out for anything, girls, and you want to send us one, I would be more than happy to put it on the YouTube channel. Because anybody who sends us something, we put their @ on it. So if you want to give us a review of something you watch together, I'm more than happy to sit down and chop it up and we'll put it on there. And we can see. So, but yeah, that's what I meant to say. Real Debaters, REEL, all the spelling. Put it into YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. You'll find us there. You'll find Jimmy's stuff there, my stuff. We've got stuff coming from Sean Geek Podcast. More, like I said, from that Cook asshole. And yeah, therealdebaters.ca. That's everything us. Go there right now after the show. You'll find out how to donate, how to buy stuff. Jimmy, what do they buy?
Well, you can buy things, mostly skateboards. If someone would buy a skateboard deck with our logo on it, that'd be phenomenal.
It'd be fucking fantastic to, and then proof of purchase gets you the right to throw us an idea and maybe like being a co-producer of the show where we have to do a thing. So
are you asking me and Olivia to learn how to skateboard? Because we will. If that's like a requirement.
No, it will not get you kicked out of the club now, so don't worry. But if you want to, I mean, skateboard they make great art just as much as they make great transport. I don't know how to sell a skateboard. Point is, realdebaters.ca, that's where you can find everything about us. If you want to communicate with us, if you want to get information about CC and Ollie, it's therealdebaters@gmail.com and @realdebaters on Instagram and Twitter, and the Real Debaters on Facebook. I have been Cady. Gretchen. Who's Gretchen over there? Ollie, are you Gretchen?
I'm Gretchen.
All right. That must make Sierra.
Regina.
Right?
And Jimmy, who have you been?
Does that mean I'm Karen?
No. You're Regina. Sierra's for sure Karen.
I wasn't ready to be mean. I've already got to learn how to skateboard. I don't think I can do that.
And this has been another Real Debaters production. Watch all the movies, kids. We are gone.